morning, video games. Welcome once again to another edition of Filthy Casuals, a podcast about video games hosted by three very kind and knowledgeable boys. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Tommy Dasilo. With me, as always...
Hello, filthy animals. It's Ben Vanel, and yawning during the intro was...
You, which I thought was rude, me being perfectly awake, Adam Knox. Perfectly awake. There is nothing wrong with the level of awake that I am. It's not too awake.
No.
It's just enough.
You're not wired.
No. I'm
You're
alert.
not drowsy.
And I'm ready to fuck.
You came in here sipping on a kombucha.
Yeah.
I got myself a ginger and lemon
Kombucha.
I don't think I've ever had a kombucha.
Really?
They're not very good.
They're good for you, but they don't taste great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it because my girlfriend's on a health kick and she was there and I had to get this.
Under the thumb.
Than what I would have gotten, which is 10 Fantas.
We got to mention this weekend we've got our live show at the European Beer Cafe,
Yes.
Saturday the 14th at 4 p.m.
Correct. Yeah, we have to. We're legally obligated to mention this. Our bosses have come down on us and they've said, remember to plug the live show.
Yeah. So...
Done it. The man.
Yeah, take that.
Filthy
Who looks
Casual-
after us, who I love.
filthycasuals.com.au if you want tickets. Already a bunch sold. It's going to be heaps of fun.
Yeah.
Looking forward to meeting the filth and hanging out. And,
You
know,
have less than 48 hours at the time of this episode releasing to get your tickets.
that's very true.
So,
It really makes you think that you should get a ticket.
what's the name of the character from 24? Jack Bauer. Jack Bauer style, but then another,
Season 2.
35% of Jack Bauer.
Yeah. Kind of like half of one of them.
29.
What's the latest you think you could buy? What's the latest you've ever bought a ticket to something?
Afterwards.
That's pretty late. That's too late, I reckon.
That was a stupid... I watched all of... This is a different answer to a question you didn't ask. I watched all of the first season of 24 in a 24-hour marathon.
Wow.
That Fox 8 put on, and I had the flu during.
Oh,
And
that's
so
perfect.
I was just not sleeping because whatever drug I was taking was a bit keeps you awake.
Yes.
Cocaine.
Yeah, cocaine.
A little bit of the old Venezuelan
Nose candy.
cocaine. Does cocaine come from Venezuela?
Colombia, mostly.
Colombia. A little bit of the old Colombian paracetamol.
A little bit of Monica
boys.
on the side.
This is okay.
Are we going to all do...
Nothing wrong with doing this.
A big of a pizza pie.
That ain't flour, dude.
Cocaine just like a mama used to make.
Are we going to do... we're going to get on the cocaine after this live show on Saturday?
Absolutely.
I think we'd best.
Yep,
I'm
get
gonna
them on
get
the
on it.
bags.
I'm going to get on it now.
Really?
All right.
Yep.
And just stay up for 48 hours
Yep,
until the
here
show.
I go.
This guy does
I'm
drugs.
taking heaps of it.
I never got into 24.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Do you remember how much Channel 7 were creaming their jeans about it in the lead up? It just it's all in real. The whole season is a day.
They were about every fucking show though. There was
Lost, they pumped the hell out of.
Yeah.
There was a Simon Baker show and a show with Anthony LaPaglia in. Two different shows.
Oh, Without a Trace and The Mentalist.
I think it was two different ones because I believe they were short-lived. But whatever channel they were on, and
That's
I think
what
it was
he just
7.
said.
Yeah.
It pumped them up. It pumped them up massively. Channel 7, and I was at exactly the age where I fully bought that these were the biggest things to ever happen to television. So I was like,
Wow.
whatever the fuck, but the rest of you want to do. This is me yelling at my family.
Is having a brain injury an age? Is that?
I was like, we are watching the debut of the world's hottest new star, Simon Baker, in his fucking engaging turn as whatever was before The Mentalist.
They're two Aussie guys who went Hollywood. That's probably why we were so caught up in the magic.
Well,
this was pre them going Hollywood, though, I feel like. I'm gonna look up what it was.
Lapal's, he went Hollywood as quickly as he could because he went over and, he was on Without a Trace. But he's the only Australian thing I've seen him in is Lantana.
I want to clarify when you said...
I love Lantana and Rob Thomas. That song they did together.
Hey, that reference was smooth.
when you said The Mentalist and Without a Trace.
The Guardian.
And you said, Adam, two different ones. I thought you meant two different ones as in, no, I said two shows. Because I thought that you thought that Ben was saying that there was one show called Without a Trace and The Mentalist. The original Odd Couple.
That's the shittiest morning breakfast duo on radio.
Well, I'm the Mentalist. Without a Trace isn't here again. But I'll be driving you to work.
And I know exactly what you need.
You know
in the
you're
good old
famous.
days-
Anthony LaPaglia is more famous than Simon Baker because you type in Anthony LaPaglia and the first suggestion that comes up is Anthony LaPaglia wife.
Right.
But the first suggestion for Simon Baker is Simon Baker the Mentalist.
Oh.
So
Or he's unmarried.
no.
So wait, you think that means that LaPaglia is more famous?
Yeah, every famous person, like at least the first, second, or third thing is this person, wife or husband.
And if it's a woman, it's this person feet.
Anthony LaPaglia's show. I really struggle to say his name.
Anthony LaPaglia.
Do you pronounce the G though?
No, it's like lasagna.
Maybe it was Lantana.
But you have a bit of fun when you pronounce the G though. You know, when you say
Yeah.
lasagna.
Yes.
So that's not fun at all.
That sounded like a fucking bad time. I'm just looking at Anthony LaPaglia's work now. Anyway,
Anthony Lasagna.
Battlestar Galactica I did it with too and then never watched the rest of it.
Oh, right.
Because the VHS got taped. Like, I just fucking did it again and again with every show that Channel 7 would hype up.
Because it used to be a lot easier for them to hype stuff up because stuff would air so much later here after the States. So they would have the inside track. If something had been a hit, they could go, all right, we know this, you know, all that we have to do is just let people know and the ratings are going to roll in. But now everything kind of debuts at the same time. So they just have to shoot in the dark like everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, this new Tim Allen, Last Man Standing, everyone. It's going to be bigger than Home Improvement. Oh, no, it's off. People hate it.
Yeah. There was a 24 video game.
Really?
Yeah.
Never played it.
How long did it take you to complete?
Didn't play it.
So 0 minutes. 24.
Yeah.
Stop that.
I just wanted to see like how many things you could do where you were going to say like a number, a different number to do with it.
Something else.
Watching you just in your head going dung, 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 like 24 used to do.
Yep. That
There
was a great
big
exchange.
bell that always showed up.
Yeah, it was a great exchange to be on the outer of, I have to say. I enjoyed watching that one play out.
Not a lot of games have come out this week.
No, it's another real wheel spinner, this one.
Yes. I've played multiple games, but in terms of news and releases and trailers and anything, it's slim pickings.
Another slow one, boys.
It's crazy because you'd think at least a couple of companies would have had the wherewithal to go, hey, let's release July 11th.
Yeah.
That's the big fucking window here. But I guess you got to set it up so much in advance.
Hey, it's winter in Australia. Let's set up our entire global release schedule around that.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
Summer.
That's really what it is. It's summer in the States.
Summer in the States.
Yeah.
Whatever. I play games in the summer.
Yeah. I still don't leave the house in summer.
You
It just
play-
means that I have to draw the curtains.
You play games in the summer because then it's winter in America and that's when all the games are coming out here.
Huh.
He's used logic to defeat you.
I reckon I would play games if it was always daytime. I think I'd
What?
still, but then the magic of summer would have worn off.
What?
If it was always like exactly the same temperature all of the time, and it was like a nice temperature.
If it was the exact same temperature all the time, what, you would play video games?
yeah,
Okay.
Like, if
but
it was
you play
great
video
weather all
games
the time,
now,
I
and it
mean.
fluctuates.
I bet if it was always great weather, it was always like you could go out.
But the
and enjoy
appeal
the
of
weather.
summer is the contrast between summer and winter.
Yeah, but
Just admit that I beat you.
nah.
Nah.
I would play games on the sun. I'd do it anywhere.
That's a typical Adam Knox.
The only place I'm not going to do it is during this last week.
That is a very Adam Knox response when he's cornered in a debate, is to just look up and go, nah. That's when you know he's sweating.
Yeah.
But he's going to come out with something. He's going to come
I'm
out with
sweating
something
because
that's
it's
gonna make
always
you-
summer in my world.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, there's been...
Take me back.
Take me back to the...
Thailand, thank you for having me. Barcelona, watch out.
Well played, Madrid. Well played.
Yeah, Adam, we spent a week together in Thailand. Would you say that you contracted wanderlust from that holiday?
Yeah, I don't know. I want to go somewhere else again one day.
You mean you already had your next overseas trip booked?
Yeah, and I'm going to Edinburgh soon for the Fringe Festival there. And if you're over there, come and see my show if you like. But yeah, I'll travel eventually.
I do have wanderlust, I have to say. I didn't travel overseas until I was like 28 for the first time. And after then, I've gone every year. And this year, probably it'll be twice. I really like it.
Yeah.
Is it wondering if you're just watching movies in a different country, though?
I think it counts. Yeah, I think so.
I'm wonder, like, semi-chubbed. Not particularly lustful.
Yeah.
Not super horny. But, like, I could probably
kind of
come
weird.
soft.
Squeeze it out like a tube of toothpaste. It's running out. You know.
That is kind of a weird sexual connotation to that term. It doesn't need to be in there, really.
Isn't it like a German word, though? Like wanderlust?
No, I think it's just lust for wandering.
I don't... Oh, no, I don't know.
I
don't know.
assume it's not. I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up now. But
Nah.
Nah. Nah, if it was 20 degrees all the time, I'd play video games all the time.
Yeah. I have wanderlust for somewhere where it's the same temperature at all times.
Yes.
Nah.
Wanderlust is actually a 2012 comedy film with a
David
runtime
Where it
of
comes
1 hour,
from.
38 minutes.
Yeah, Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd, Jennifer Anderson.
Is that a good film? You would have seen it.
I haven't.
You're a big Waniac.
I'm a huge Waniac, but no, I haven't seen it because I heard it was... I don't want to spoil the image of
The
Wayne.
magic. Yeah. Good shit.
Great
David Wayne.
shit. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you meant the conversation.
This anecdote. Good
Dude,
shit.
David Wayne, some
Yes.
of the shit he does is crazy. Putting yourself in a block of ice, that's nuts.
Boy, this episode is David Wayning.
Yeah, wanderlust is an English loan word that was already extant in the German language, dating as far back as Middle High German.
So I was right.
Yeah, well done. Middle
Thank
High
you.
German, by the way, 1942. No, Middle High German. I don't know when that was. It doesn't say. Okay, it means, desire to travel.
I mean,
Could
it
we
is
guess that.
wandering and lusting are, to be fair, English words.
Yeah, but I love that that's what you thought that
Oh.
actually... A lust.
Lust is a German word, and wandern means to hike.
Hey, that's okay.
All right.
I like to hike.
Lust
Okay,
for
so
hiking.
The banter's been terrible, but people have learned something so far. So that's something.
That's the best kind of banter.
Yeah, we could just wrap this up now.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been thinking so much during the week about your British friend going, God, I've been loving the banter on this trip. It's really stayed with me. I think about it twice a day.
That's too much.
Yeah. No, I'm really into
You
it.
got banter lust.
Can you pass my...
That's a German
Pass
word.
my thanks on to that young man.
Nah.
Fair enough.
I'm just going to let him live his life. Because if I tell him thanks, I'll have to explain why I was talking
Yeah,
about
you
it.
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of made fun of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a public forum.
He's never going to find out.
Okay.
Otherwise, the banter between me and him will not be whatever word the British use for good. Shufty.
Shropshire.
Put me in front of him and I'll just try and inspire him to say it again.
All right.
And then I can be like,
You've got to generate good banter then.
yeah, exactly. Oh, man. You look who you're talking to. Nah. All right, we got to talk about some stuff. There's some of this Uncharted stuff.
Yeah,
you guys heard of
this-
these games? They got one of them. That goes well. Then what do? Then they do a second one.
They follow it up with a sequel.
What do they call the second one?
Uncharted 3.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. And then after that,
24.
and then after that, they did a prequel to number 3, which was Uncharted 2.
Yes, but it was weirdly they released 2 before the third one.
Yes.
Yeah.
They released the prequel before the.
Yeah.
Oh, like Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. These Naughty Dog guys are fucking. You know what they should be called? Crazy Dog.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they must be fucking.
Mad Dog.
Yeah.
But then, so wait, what's the Uncharted thing? I say as the everyman who hasn't heard of this yet.
It's
the news. Are
Every
they
man
making
is-
another Uncharted game? That'd be exciting Uncharted news.
That'd be huge. We could speculate on what it could be about, if there's going to be the same characters.
We could play it someday when it comes out.
Oh, that would be
Hopefully
the dream.
on
Wow.
July 11.
Oh man, that'd be really exciting to be able to talk about a brand new Uncharted game coming out soon. Well, guys, what's it about? What have they said so far?
It's relating to the existing games. So it was an interview with IGN, I believe. One of the guys who worked on the Uncharted franchise said that...
I think he tweeted it.
Did he tweet it?
He just tweeted it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then like Amy Hennig replied to it or something, being like, "Yeah, this was the idea."
Oh, okay. And then I guess it was reported on, which is how I.
And they're like, no, you can't have your job back. You blew it.
yeah,
Go fuck a lightsaber, idiot! You're out of here.
you're out. So I guess they said. People were like, you get shot a bunch of times and don't die. That's unrealistic.
Common criticism, inverted commas. Not that it really matters.
Or
but
just like
yeah,
one
a
of those
bullet
things where it's
sponge.
like, fuck, this is annoying that we have to deal with this like game that has figured out how to put like a cinematic story in, but it's still a video game, so it has has the trappings of
Yes, ludonarrative dissonance is the word that a lot of people apply to this franchise specifically.
that. Originally a
because,
German term,
meaning
means wanting to fuck a video game.
but that's the thing where like it's raised with Uncharted so much because Nathan Drake murders thousands of people, but he is a charming hero.
Yeah.
Man.
Spunk.
He's a spunky do-gooder. But
He's Jonesy.
He is.
Indy.
He's I call him Jonesy.
What's up, Jonesy? Yeah.
And so like sort of flipping that, back onto him, he gets shot a bunch of times and he doesn't die, and so they actually explained it.
So I think that they're fucking lying through their teeth about
Yes,
this shit.
Absolutely.
So
they
because
are.
like what they said is that the dimming of the screen and everything, it represents his luck running out.
Yes.
And so he's dodging it like Indy, and like all the bullets are whizzing past his head, and eventually one goes in, which is a great idea.
Yes,
but how come he keeps going like, oh
Yeah.
ah, fuck, that bullet got me.
my
but I'm
leg
alive.
is bleeding.
Yeah, red stuff comes out of him as his luck's running out.
It is very unlucky to be hit by a bullet. His luck is running out.
Yeah.
But it's like total fucking bullshit for
This
them to
is the
say
most
that.
revisionist history thing I've ever
Totally.
seen.
Completely.
Yeah.
It's like fucking J.K. Rowling going like, Dumbledore, gay the whole time.
Yes.
Like, oh yeah, sick. Why didn't you put it in the book then?
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. It's retconning. It's retcon 5. We're at retcon 5 here.
Get the president.
the most
the president,
egregious.
by the way, is Hillary Clinton now. That's just the way it always was. That's what we always meant.
Nice.
Retcon Air.
Oh, retcon the fruiterer.
Recon. Starring Nick Giannopoulos.
Okay. And he only had 2 daughters.
Ruler and Vula. That's it.
Yes.
How come...
Several days.
If they're going to explain away that, when are they going to come out and then justify the fact that Sully walking through the jungle and constantly saying that he's sweating like a whore in church?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was actually him.
Hymns.
Yeah, that was him saying something else, but the echoing of the church.
Right.
Well, he wasn't in a church.
No,
when
he was
said it.
referring to a church.
Yeah.
In a previous life, he was a sex worker.
Right.
And he did visit a church, and it was really hot that day.
Right, I thought they were going to say it's not him talking. That's like a parrot that's in the jungle that someone else has taught to say those deplorable, outdated terms
Sure.
about sex workers.
And he just happens to be miming those words or similar words. So it looks like he is saying it.
yeah.
When are they going to retcon how bad the first one was? Can they retcon that?
I mean, they tried. They remastered it. But
And they made it fucking 5 more times afterwards.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, and Blood Legacy. What was it called?
Lost Legacy.
yeah.
was the same game again and again. When would they retcon that? Huh?
We
Tomb
don't have
Raider.
the answers.
The Tomb Raider games.
No,
The
yeah.
similar.
When will they retcon? Yeah. When will they retcon the fact that they stole Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
When will they retcon?
I don't have
I
the
don't
answers.
have anymore. Yeah.
Are we still in the ad for the live show? Because this is not doing a good job of selling people. But yeah, so that went huge. That's yeah. So that person just tweeted it, and then people pick it up. I think maybe he just said that, going like, "Oh yeah, I reckon I can get away with this," and then it's kind of blown up into it.
And it's a cool idea.
Yeah,
I think that's why it's gone so big. It's like, oh, that makes sense in a way.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really make sense for a lot of the games that have regenerating health, really.
Sure.
Like Call of Duty or whatever, you're not the world's luckiest man.
Yes.
Because in Uncharted, you are the world's, like, the point of that character is that he's the luckiest guy in the world.
Yeah.
And then I guess less so with Lost Legacy with playing as Chloe and whatever.
Yeah.
Do you play as Chloe?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, you do.
Yep.
That's great now if some other developer goes, it's actually a pretty good idea. And
Yeah.
then it's like a game comes out in 6 months that has that as a
They
device.
just say in the tutorial, like, it's your luck running out. Like they
that's
just say it.
that's what the game's called. Your luck is running out.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, it's one of the it's almost dumb to bother explaining it because there's nothing you can do. You either have just, hey, this is a video game and the story parts of it are kind of separate because we wanted to make it fun, or hey, you get shot once and you're dead.
Yeah,
and
sure.
now it's a
Well, yeah.
completely different thing.
Who cares? There's some of the biggest selling games ever. Why do they feel the need to why do they feel so under attack?
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
love those games. Like, there's no one, like, people talk about it, sure, because it's interesting and, like, funny, but no one cares.
Yeah.
No one's no one's having any less enjoyment of them because of those things.
It's like they just want to be like, actually, they're perfect. Actually, you know how there was that one criticism? That's explained away, so we're
and
the
then
best.
and then people are on hearing that and going, it wasn't even a criticism. It was just a thing that we say. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter anyway because it's
Yeah.
it's perfect. We've
Yeah.
just proven that it's perfect. So even though you're saying it's not a criticism, it doesn't matter
Also,
either way because we've negated it anyway.
Here's a free chocolate bar. Doesn't that make you feel better? Well, I wasn't hungry, but like, yeah, but this is free.
It's just
Nah.
Nah.
I don't like it. It's very dumb to like go back and go like it was actually meant to be this thing.
Yeah.
Like, well, no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
He was just getting shot a bunch. You didn't think of that until the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe you did at the time and it was too hard to make, and then whatever. But like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if that was true, that is such an interesting thing. So why wouldn't you highlight it why wouldn't you make a point of it when the games first came out?
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is how this actually works. This is different to other games. It's not a health bar.
Yes.
It's this.
And it's like that thing where, you know, all the like games that Miyamoto's been involved in is like one time he saw a dog hanging out of a window and so it was like, hey, Pikmin. It's that thing where it's like, I guess, I don't know why you told me that, you weird old man.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think the thing with this, I guess the thing with that as well, it's like the explanation changes the game in no way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you're right. Like if they had said it at the time, the mechanic wouldn't have changed or made more or less of an impact. Exactly the same.
Yeah.
It probably would have been more annoying for it to be the luck thing because it would have been strange to have people shooting at you and looking like they're missing, and it would have been harder to know like where to move to dodge stuff. And
Yeah, I
do you know what I
guess.
mean? Like
Well,
being
if
hit
it's-
by stuff is feedback.
If it's
Sure.
luck, shouldn't it just be random every time? Like, shouldn't there be some gunfights where you can last for ages because your luck keeps being
But
extended?
that'd
And
be-
then sometimes it's like, boom, one hit and you're dead.
Right.
Unlucky.
If it
Right.
was actual luck.
But it's film luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
it's
it's
the
narrative luck.
representation of luck.
Yeah.
Where an audience will watch 4 bullets go by someone's head, but if a fifth goes past, they're like, that's ridiculous.
Yes, totally. It's Indiana Jones luck. Like
Yeah.
it's that's exactly
He can
what it is.
fall out the front of that car. Like he get in every one of those fights. I bet there's a set number of times bad shit happens to him.
Yeah.
where a Nazi punches him and he falls under the car. I bet in every one of those scenes you can go through and it's like 4 times.
Sure.
shit goes wrong for him, and then on the 5th he gets it.
Yeah.
Because there would be a certain point where it's like that heavy rain scene where the guy keeps tripping over if you don't press the buttons.
Yes.
Where if you keep having bad luck, it's very funny, but it looks
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do love the idea of the most frustrating game of all time where the health bar is just random.
Yeah.
And it's not on screen. So it's not like, this time around I have 6 points. It's just like sometimes you can just keep absorbing it and you're fine. Other times it's like dead immediately.
Sometimes the guy just is walking, he's like, oh, fuck my heart.
Well, yeah, that's it. Like I'm thinking now of like
Skipping
a Watch Dogs or a GTA where like sometimes you could be walking down the sidewalk and a guy like swerves the truck
Yeah.
and runs you over. Like that's
Yeah,
life. That's life, baby.
Dude,
That's death.
that's how I want to go.
It's truck swerving.
Nah, playing GTA.
Oh yeah, nice.
What have you boys been playing this week? Was there any more news?
Not really.
Nothing really happening, is
like
there?
everyone's gone to sleep for a little bit, and us too, and probably the listeners of this show.
Yep.
As many as there may be left.
Boy, I had a big day. I'm looking forward to going 9 Eyes tonight.
Oh,
I'll
yes.
tell you boys that.
I went to sleep half an hour ago. So
Did you really?
yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant you had a little nap.
No, I'm
after
dreaming.
Work.
I'm dreaming this.
Well, so we're just in your imagination right now.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice in here.
Thank you.
It's different to how I imagined it.
You've covered me looking up the rest of the news real well.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Yes.
There was one little thing. Nintendo they had like a investor thing talk. Some kind of what do you call it? A meeting.
Oh my God.
some kind of talk in some kind of room.
They
some kind of
reassured
house.
their investors that their 2018 lineup hasn't been fully revealed.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's also spin, I reckon. Like that's got to be like we haven't said that this mobile game's going to come out
Yeah.
on the
Right.
eShop.
I don't want to get too excited because I would love there to be another big boy coming down the pipe. But
Such a slim
yeah.
chance.
Yeah, it'll be a port or something that'll be out with like a month's notice or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, or just
Yep.
some indie games. Like
Yeah.
technically, there's a bunch of things that haven't been announced probably because no one gives a shit about.
Yeah,
them.
because it's shovelware.
Yeah,
They're just
exactly.
putting it
It'll
on
be
the
like,
eShop.
Truck Man.
Yeah.
Just something dumb.
Truckman HD, thank you. It's a remaster.
That fucking thing is so clogged with a bunch of games that look like bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there needs to be two separate. There needs to be a switch you can flick on the eShop that gets rid of all the fucking app.
a Nintendo
Just being
That's
able to
bullshit.
sort by like a rating or something would help as well, maybe.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
You
any kind of
You can
better
go to
search
charts,
function.
and they've got a new Discover section, which is a bit more like, hey, this thing's kind of it just is tracking like the biggest kind of stuff of the week. But still, if you just go on the main page of it, it's like if you go there on a bad week, it's like the first 8 things are like, ooh, wait,
Yeah.
there is some absolute shit in here.
There's a chance that something might be announced in August. I feel like August of last year, just literally of last year, they announced like Pokken tournament and stuff, I believe.
Right.
There was like a couple of things that were maybe August-ish that got announced and released. And like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I think got a date in like September. But that
There'll
was always
definitely be-
meant to be coming out.
Yeah,
last
we already
year.
knew that existed.
At the very least, there'll definitely be another direct before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Where they drop some.
But I'd be surprised. Like, obvious, they don't want anything to get in the way of Smash, especially.
Yeah.
Or for anything to be gotten in the way of by Smash.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
I guess they've got this online rollout that they've got to deal with.
to
Yeah.
what end? Like, having a game for that would be real good.
Yes.
If they had a game
Yeah.
coming out in September, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they have even for the rest of the year? Is it just Smash Brothers, basically?
For
and like
online?
some little bullshit things?
Oh, no,
Or, like,
just
at
in
all?
general, yeah. Smash.
I mean, Octopath is a Square game, but they're kind of putting it out,
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess.
It's an exclusive, isn't it? It's a
Yeah,
Switch
it's an
exclusive.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
out like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And then there's Mario Party and Smash and
Are those Pokemon games this year?
yeah, they're
yeah.
November. Yeah.
Mm.
So they've got like and then maybe there's something in August.
Oh,
I can't
Spider-Man? No, wait, that's not on the Switch. Oh, Red Dead? Oh, wait, no, that's not on the Switch.
It will be in 2 years.
It absolutely will not.
remember. Nah, no chance.
So maybe this is something
Maybe
to talk
Red Dead
about.
1.
Yeah, fuck. Well, no, that'll never be on anything else.
Yeah.
I think even Super Nintendo devotees are starting to get annoyed with the games library. I think we all thought it was going to be really expanding at this point, and it's still pretty light on the ground.
Yeah.
They like really blew out of the gates last year,
Yep.
maybe to their overall detriment. If they'd have had just Zelda or just Mario last year, you know what I mean? Or like,
I think they just needed to...
They sold a fuckload of the things, so I don't think you can call that detriment. really.
I think they just needed to have more games out this year.
Yeah.
Like, I just think they had to follow it up. Like, even that, as I think the quality of those games last year was what held them in good stead, but
Yeah.
the number was still lower than most other, competing consoles. So,
Yes, but it's also, I mean, it's like, I've said this a few times, like, if you have a year that's as big as, in terms of, like, them putting out these tentpole franchises in the 1 year, you have an ebb, so you float, which is the up. Anyway,
flow.
you have a peak, you're gonna have to have a trough. So it probably means that next year is the year where, Metroid, and maybe that's if this Star Fox game is a real thing. You know what I mean? Like, maybe
Be
an
a
Animal.
lot-
All these rumored things like will come to fruition, and these things that we know that they're working on
will come out.
But you can't have a year where you go as hard as they did, and it is of course it's hard to keep the momentum up.
Yeah,
and there are. I play mine heaps because there's a lot of stuff coming out on it that I. Like in terms of like indies and third party stuff,
but you don't.
That I've been picking up and
you
playing.
don't have a PC, which a lot of gamers do.
Yeah,
and all those indies are out on PC, and they're like $4 each.
Yeah,
so that's the thing. The fucking tax on Nintendo stuff is like a huge part of the reason I would get everything on Switch.
That's
if
the thing.
Had the equivalent price.
Yeah.
And people are certainly saying that. People are even rebuying stuff on Switch that they have on PC because they like it as a piece of hardware so much. But even then, it's like, give us more games. And maybe me not being a big Nintendo guy for the past few console generations means I'm sort of not getting it. But like, even looking forward to all the games they could possibly release in terms of first-party games, it's like, there's not going to be heaps.
Yeah.
Like, in comparison to the PS4, there's too many for me to play with my free time.
That thing with the peaks and troughs as well, like, it'd be a lot easier to be comforted by that if we hadn't been fucking feeding out of the Nintendo trough like little piggies for the last 7-8 years. You know, like they have very rapidly lost a lot of the goodwill that I had for them last year by just being back to the like, oh, okay, this thing is useless to me for a while.
That's the unfortunate thing is like, I want to play it and I want it to be useful, but like there have been months at a time where I haven't picked it up.
Yeah. I've been playing my 3DS.
Yeah, nice.
I got that out of whatever cupboard it was at the back of. And
how do you not know what cupboard it was in? It's your cupboard.
Every time I try to get something, I put on a blindfold, I spin around, and it takes as long as it takes.
Okay.
I got it out because I'm going to play that WarioWare game later in the year. And I was looking around on the little shop on there.
Yes.
Thinking, what could Daddy get his hands on today?
Heaps of games on there, right?
There's a lot of 3DS games. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are like GBA games and stuff. And there's still Nintendo's always been Nintendo. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are fucking remasters of like Nintendo 64 games. But there was one little fruit that caught this little bird's attention on the tree.
Yes.
And I started pecking away at, I don't know why I'm being so creepy today.
Yeah.
At Detective Pikachu.
Yep.
Oh, that's why you've been so creepy.
It's, because I'm into anime now. Is Pokemon an anime?
Yeah, baby.
Okay. I always thought this thing looked really funny. Like genuinely their attempts at comedy with it, which was smart to do because it's a stupid premise.
Yes.
I've never been able to work out what it is from watching the trailers, like what kind of game it is.
So it is basically like an adventure game, sort of. You're going around. There was a sitcom. There was a pilot of a sitcom, one episode called Officer Puchinsky, which starred who played Raymond's dad from Everybody Loves Raymond. What's that guy's name? You know who I mean? He was in Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Frank something? No, his name was Frank in the show.
I don't know.
Whatever his name was. He played a cop who died, but then his soul went into the body of a dog.
Ray Romano.
That's the guy.
I've seen this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His soul went into the body of a dog. The dog could, like, his partner could understand the dog, but nobody else could, and they solved crimes.
Yeah.
That's
right.
this game.
Yeah.
Right.
And you don't know that immediately, but the story is so fucking, like, obvious from the second that I haven't finished it or anything. But what happens is you play as a guy named Tim Goodman.
Great.
And you're definitely this Pikachu's son. Because he used to be a detective, a human detective.
Right.
And obviously his soul is now in the Pikachu.
Right.
That's clearly what's going on.
That's your prediction.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a game for children that I am playing.
Sure.
But you go around and like there's little scenarios of like, this Pokemon stole my necklace. I got to find it. And you go around and you look for clues.
Right. It was Steelore. The Pokemon Steelore.
How did you know? Dude, are you Detective Geekachu?
Detective Pikachu.
What is that, a dick?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yuck. it's pretty straightforward and simple. If you've ever played any of the Phoenix Wright games, it's sort of like them.
Okay.
A little bit, looking for things, talking to people, getting little clues, sorting out the clues onto like a map at the end of it to put together what happened. It's not particularly hard, and there's like an easy mode that gives you hints as well if you want. I'm not very far in, so it might just still be quite easy because it's still kind of teaching me what to do. But it's nice.
Yeah.
You're walking around these little things. There's a little Pokemon. The thing of being in this world, doing something different to just like fighting them is nice.
Right.
Having them be around and like talking to you through your Pikachu guy, who he can talk to the Pokemon and he can talk to you, but humans can't talk to him.
Can talk to the Pokemon, walk with the Pokemon.
Squeak and squawk and like the Pokemon. It's not particularly deep, and if the idea of a Pikachu being a detective isn't immediately like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Then you're probably not going to be driven through it because like it has that thing where it just takes a little bit too long to say everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything is just written out a bit. Like you go through the same fucking like, wait a minute, did that guy walk through that door? Then you'll talk to someone else and like, I think I saw a guy walk through that door. Right. And then you look at the door and it's be like, someone walked through here recently. And you go around the corner and be like, dude, if I saw anyone walk through a door, that guy's suspicious. And you'll have it way earlier than the game.
What happened? Did the guy walk through the door or not?
I don't think so.
Dude.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you walk through the door. The point is that Pikachu is wearing a little detective's hat.
Yeah, that's cool.
And he's got a gruff voice and he drinks coffee. He's like, hey, we got to solve this crime here.
I thought he'd sound like Pikachu.
Nah. He's a person's soul in a Pikachu.
Okay.
And so like if
is that actually set up or are you just inferring it?
The opening is a guy whose face you don't see driving his car, patting his Pikachu on the head, putting a little detective hat on it, and then crashing the car. And then the Pikachu wakes up and he goes, oh, that dream again. Who is that man?
Oh. Did he go through the door?
And was there a light coming from the door?
So when the Pikachu's talking to you, he's like, hey, whatever, I'm definitely a cop's soul in this Pikachu.
I don't know. I'm not convinced.
But then sometimes you're seeing him from the point of view of someone who doesn't understand that he can talk, and he's like, oh, Pika Pika.
Right.
Oh. And I kind of like that as well. It's so fucking stupid. And they have the Pikachu trip over and shit. And you play as someone named, again, Tim Goodman.
Sure.
Hickory dickory Pikachu.
It's dumb. And it's fun. But Andrew Pika Clay is a great character and enough to be driving me through it. And also just like walking around this little Pokemon world and talking to dumbass people who are like, yeah, I don't know, the rubbish over there looks suspicious.
Oh, yes.
That sounds great.
It's really silly and definitely not for someone of my age.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I've played a couple of games this week.
Were any of them Detective Pikachu?
Yes, both of them.
Oh, sick. Open that pretty mouth. I don't know what is wrong with me today.
Yeah.
It's that kombucha.
I think it is the kombucha. It's turned me into a gross hippie.
Yeah.
Dude, everyone take your shoes off, all right? Just
no.
feels better. Spread them toes.
Oh, spread them toes is gross.
Gwyneth Paltrow feet.
The first game that I played, I'm not going to talk for a long time about, so really get ready for me to talk about it. FIFA 17.
Okay.
So World Cup inspired. I saw it at EA for
Now,
like
what made
$20.
you start thinking about the World Cup?
I was drinking a cup of water.
Oh, by the way, we're recording this before the England-Croatia game has happened.
Yes.
I'm going to get up early and watch that tomorrow morning at our time, which is when it's playing.
4 a.m. our time.
So, depending on how that went, either it's coming home or it's coming home.
To Transylvania.
Croatia sounds.
He's lying. We've actually recorded this after the match. He just wanted an excuse to make that joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope that I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, you got World Cup fever.
Yeah. And FIFA, it's pronounced World Cup FIFA. I haven't played a FIFA game for a long time, like late 90s long time.
Right.
But
that is a long time.
I
It's
understand.
like 20 years or something.
Oh my God. feels like I'm on the show 24 over here because somebody.
This goes for an hour. An episode of this goes for an hour.
24 hours is.
Dumb.
I see what you mean.
Cunt. Dumb cunt. I hope people remember 24 and that the clock would turn.
I don't.
I don't think our listeners are 24 years old.
It also didn't sound anything like that in the show.
No.
Anyway, what is FIFA still FIFA?
FIFA's still FIFA. It's a great game. I understand why it's the most popular sports game. Like it's a team game with more variables than the basketball ones. It's like there's some tactics to it. And fuck, it looks good. It's just a great presentation.
Mm-hmm.
EA, well done. Applause
So
for EA.
FIFA 19 will be coming out this year.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
always 1 year ahead.
Yeah.
FIFA 18, there's been some deep fucking sales on
Oh, yeah?
lately.
Yeah.
Like $20
Wow.
to get it. And I just haven't bothered because I'm not sure why. I guess I have in my head that FIFA is the shit one still.
Yeah, no.
Because in the early 2000s, FIFA was the shit one and Pro Evolution was the good one.
Yeah.
And that's turned, I guess.
I just think through weight of numbers, everyone plays FIFA, so that's the one to play.
Right.
But it's good. FIFA 17 has the journey, so it's like a story mode.
Oh, right.
Where
Right.
you play as a rookie and you get drafted to fucking one of the Premier League clubs. So it's that kind of thing,
Farke Madrid, fake Madrid. Because it's in a video game.
as opposed to Real Madrid.
Coming home, baby!
But it's good. You can't skip the cutscenes though, which is fucking annoying because it's I literally just want to play soccer. But
Right.
yeah, it's a good game. Everyone out there probably already either owns it or doesn't ever want to play it. So it's really pointless to review it.
I think I will die having never played a FIFA game.
Cool.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll probably die having never played a Madden. I've heard that
Madden's
they're good.
great.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that, but I just don't really seem to care about NFL, and I've
Yeah.
tried to. And
Right.
so, yeah, I don't know.
The best thing to do is watch Friday Night Lights, and then in between episodes, you'll play Madden and you'll get into it.
I'll probably never play a NASCAR game.
No, neither.
That's it. What's games you just will never play, you reckon? That you've just never had an interest in?
I'm with you on Madden because I don't know the rules of NFL. So the fact that I would have to learn the rules of something else in order to play this
Totally.
thing,
It may
I'm
as
never
well be
gonna
like
do
one of those fantasy sport games where you have to learn how to play the death ball.
I'll never play Football Manager.
Yes.
I have
Yeah.
no interest in
Yeah.
that style of game.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably never... there's something about it that I really want to just buy a fake... train carriage and play Train Simulator for the rest of my life.
Yeah, sure.
But also, I probably never will even touch it.
Yeah, right. No, I will play Train Simulator games.
I'm
sure.
There's, I don't know, whenever you see those, massive setups where someone's like, I have a Boeing, a recreated Boeing cockpit in my garage, and I have Flight Simulator... And then there's something about that that's fucking... I think I just want to have the amount of money where I could do that.
Right.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
sure. Yeah.
I'll probably never play a Barbie game.
I reckon I probably already have at some point.
Yeah.
You've got a sister, though.
That's true.
I'd have to break into somebody's house. I wouldn't have to, but I would choose to break into somebody's house in order to do that.
What else? What else you been playing?
Oh, The Witcher 3.
Oh, right.
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
One of my favorite games that's ever been made.
One of the best games of all time, according to many, many gamers.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I was prepping myself to have to go, fuck off, Ben.
I now realize I played it the first time I played it for a lot of the way through.
Oh, right.
I have already put a good few evenings in, and that's all I've done for a few evenings. So I've put in, I don't know, 5-6 hours maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm nowhere near where I got up to the first time I played it.
Are you just kind of going through the main story, though?
I'm doing all the side quests.
Okay, right, good. Because just burning through the main story is probably not the way to play that game.
No, and I don't think I did that the first time either.
Oh, right.
I am all the side quests I'm remembering. But this time what I've done is I've turned the HUD off, or at least almost all of it.
Okay.
And I'm turning the lights off in my apartment, and I'm just turning the sound, I'm getting into the atmosphere.
hell yeah, dude.
And there's a lot of atmosphere. There's wind blowing through trees, and the sky
wind
effects are amazing.
the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's so, it makes you feel cold.
Yes. Yeah, totally.
It's crazy. And the little bend in the trees and All the sound recording is great.
The sunset, like I never noticed how visually like interesting it was. Like there are sunsets where the sun will turn orange and then the like bits of the landscape will be cast in that light, and it just like all looks real, and it's incredible. Yeah.
So you played a lot of it before, but you didn't like it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what kept you playing it for so long if you weren't enjoying it?
I don't know. I think it was probably at a period of time where I didn't have a bunch of other games.
Right.
So I just had that game, like, shit, I've dropped $80 on this. I've got to play it. There are things that I liked about it then that I still like. I'm into the story. Yep. I'm into the world. I always was into the world and the storytelling of the greater, kind of universe.
The general sort of like vibe as you're walking around is the best, like... GTA pedestrians talk.
Yes.
Of people walking around going like, I fucking hate elves. And stuff like that.
Yeah. Jeremy took me duck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I found myself a goblin, I'd probably make friends with him.
Yeah. So that all that stuff is great. And like the...
Chop down the tree, Larry.
Freak.
It's none of the fucking bullshit Skyrim like, hello, Outlander. It's proper, like you feel like you're in a dumb shit backwater village.
That's exactly it. It's not. It's the idiots of these worlds. So that's all really sick. And I liked that the first time through, but I wasn't great with the controls, and I still don't love them.
So there's two different movement types. Have you fucked with that?
No.
Change it.
Okay.
That should be the first thing you do, is change it to the alternate movement type.
Right.
Which is like less... It takes less of the sort of momentum to get him moving.
Oh, yeah.
Which is good. It feels more like a game rather than trying to shove a trolley around.
Right. Okay.
That's a big one. And that's something that like patched in after the initial thing.
Right.
I guess if you have the like Game of the Year one though...
I do.
Then it would have already been in there. But you've got to go and switch it.
Right.
That's a big thing. And then like the combat, I think there's some stuff you can fuck with to change up how that works, but for the most part it's about using your little signs and stuff.
Yes. So mainly. I think with the combat, I just hadn't played a game with that combat style before.
Right.
Now it's really, really commonplace.
Right.
It's sort of that sort of timing based Assassin's Creed, Breath of the Wild sort of hang back, dodge, slash. It's not so much combo Batman Arkham Asylum style or even old school hack and slash style.
It's often sort of puzzle solving as well for some enemies, because it's like, well, you can't hit this one unless you've done the little magic trap sign.
Yes.
So you've got to do that first and then get it a couple of times. So you've got to figure out the different ways to, depending on if you're fighting like a pack of wolves or one of the ghost ladies or whatever. And like different stuff to do.
And it shows you in the bestiary.
Yeah,
which I never read the first time through. I was not paying that much attention. But yeah, there are like enemy types that are like, you need to put this oil on the sword, otherwise they don't take damage.
Right.
And it just changes the experience to being like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I'm so frustrated to like, oh, that makes sense, and now I'm doing it.
Totally.
And so that's been the change. As well as just like appreciating the fact that this game is in a lot of ways better than almost any other game.
Yeah.
So when
it's so massive and so realized in how massive it is. Like probably in like a better way than Breath of the Wild in some ways. Where it's like made a world there, and Breath of the Wild is like this theme park that you're going through.
I prefer the Witcher 3 style of world, where it's like, yes, there are notice boards with quests, but there are also that ambient storytelling stuff and just the atmosphere.
Every road, it seems like, oh, people would walk this way, so that's why there's this road through the forest.
Totally.
It's really effective in its like depiction of medieval grubs.
Sure. And it's huge.
Yeah.
It's big. Like,
it's insane.
For a period of the year where there's not much else to play, I'm really, really enjoying this.
I would love to play it, but I said this in our Patreon group. I just don't know that I'm ever going to get the time. Like, it seems like it needs a lot of time to devote to it, and there's just stuff coming out all the time to play, and And
weirdly though, it's like, it's not a time... it doesn't require time of you in the same way that something like Persona did, where it was one long thing.
Yeah.
The Witcher 3 is pretty segmented, and there's small chunks of like, you can do this quest line in half an hour.
That's what I noticed as well. Very much that exactly. Like a quest, you can drop in, you'll do a quest, it'll take half an hour, and you'll be like, oh great, it's only 9:30. I could probably still do another quest before bed. Like it's
right. Yeah, I'm still kind of chipping away at Persona 5. And maybe if I ever get through that, then The Witcher 3 will be my next one to kind of have on the boil in the background.
It's a great one for that because there's so many little interesting stories in it. And that's the main thing that you're there for. Like the combat's okay and the world is fucking awesome to like roam around in. But there's these really well written and acted and like thought out, like just unique little things you happen across.
It's one of those things though that, I don't know if you have this with anything where like, if you've missed the boat on something initially, just the side, it's just overwhelming to kind of get into. Do you know what I mean? Like too long after the fact. It's just like,
it's just a single, like it'll be there for you forever though.
Yeah, true. Oh, thanks. It's very, it's very reassuring, very sweet.
Clap, clap, clap,
clap. So, hey, breaking news: The Witcher 3, good game,
dude.
This motherfucker.
Welcome to fucking 2015.
This motherfucker turns up playing a FIFA from 2 years ago on The Witcher. God damn.
Yeah, review missed like a real.
But yeah, I'm gonna keep playing it. I'm really enjoying it. Like it's a game I haven't had this for a while, maybe since God of War, but probably more so than that. A game where I'm just like, I don't care what I was supposed to do this evening. I'm playing this video game.
Yeah, fuck.
It's also relaxing weirdly. Like I'm really enjoying it.
It's so good because it's a good mix of like that dumb power fantasy, I'm the strongest guy in the world, but also like, everything's dangerous.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's a good middle ground between every type of game in a weird way. And fucking, what do you reckon about Cyberpunk now?
That is why I went back in, because I was initially a bit skeptical about Cyberpunk. Then I was like, fuck it, no, I think I'm going to really enjoy it. And yeah, now I've gone back to this to sort of refamiliarize myself with the game that they,
I've been thinking
nailed.
heaps about replaying The Witcher and probably won't because of Cyberpunk.
Right.
Coming out. I mean, I know it's a different thing, but like the same way I kind of wanted to play Red Dead again.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm not because there's the second one.
Yep.
Yeah, save
I just kind
yourself.
of want to sit and boil and wait for a little while.
Well, yeah, in a similar way, I've been losing a ton of hours in the last week to Hollow Knight, which I got on the Switch. It came out in the middle of E3. I think during the Nintendo Direct, they were like, "Oh, it's on the eShop right now."
Yeah, yes.
So I got it then and played about 15 minutes of it, and it didn't really grab me.
And was it earlier this year or was it from last year, Hollow Knight, on the PC?
On the PC, I don't know.
I think it might have been from last year. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. But weirdly enough, I never really heard anything about it at the time. I knew it was out, but but it's only since it being on the Switch that I've actually, because I sort of didn't touch it and then just sort of saw more and more and more stuff of like people going, "Fuck me dead, this is great."
Yeah.
So yeah, in a similar way where like
24th of February 2017.
Oh right.
Initially,
wow.
My only, apart from you being like, I played this game, guys, and it's fucking great.
Yeah.
I kind of thought it was like a Shovel Knight sequel, or I had no idea
It is
about it
weird
really.
they would bring it out and it's an indie platformer and have night in, I don't know, it's just
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been playing it in bed and was playing it for like half an hour or whatever before I went to sleep, and that slowly has morphed into me getting into bed earlier and earlier with the purpose of playing it in bed.
Yeah.
If only there were any other place you were allowed to play video games. But
And that Nintendo Switch tethered to the bedpost.
Well,
bed only, middle
guys,
of winter.
when you're fucking living in a friend's spare room, you don't have that many options.
You could go outside.
Yeah, true. I could play it in the freezing cold dead of night. What a way to go out. They just find me dead. The Switch just like frozen in my hand.
The end of The Shining. You with the Switch.
All play and no work, mate. Jacket.
Just got the eShop open waiting for new games to come out on there. So it's I think the reason it took me...
It's too late. But here's Shiggy.
But
it's too late.
Wasn't too late at all.
No, it was.
I think it was.
Something as good as that.
I think it was too late.
Okay.
Oi, Ram. Oi, Ram.
Okay.
I'm doing the finger thing.
Oh, my
Yeah.
Oi,
Mario.
Ram.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you got any more?
Yeah. Bunch of fucking Pokemon coming out of an elevator.
Yep. Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Fucking old lady, but it's Zelda, and she's naked in the bath.
Yep. Yep.
fucking Luigi riding a Mario Kart around the halls.
Oh, that's
Yep.
good.
Yep.
I can see that in my
Is
head.
that everything that happens in that movie?
Fucking talking to a bar guy, but the bar guy's Luigi in a Mario Kart.
Right.
Oh, yes,
Right.
I
Oh,
can
that
picture
Mario
that.
Kart's getting a good workout in this movie.
I haven't seen The Godfather. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So yeah, it's. I think the reason it took me a few goes is because it's brutally hard when you start. Like, it's very unforgiving. There's not really any kind of tutorial or kind of grace period. It's basically this kind of like series of sort of underground kind of connected little cities and stuff. So you start off, you go down, and the main hook of it is each time you hit an enemy, you gain a little bit of soul. It kind of fills up this meter, and you can then use that soul to do the thing that you can do when you start is use it to replenish your health. So you can hold down and spend maybe a third of the meter will refill one of your hearts. So kind of as you're battling enemies, you're kind of building up this soul meter, which you can use to replenish your health.
Right.
Then as time goes on, you gain like an attack that you can do using the soul. And so if you die, you lose everything. Like, you lose all your money and stuff that you've gathered over the game. But you can go back to where you died and you fight like kind of an undead, like your undead version of yourself.
Right.
And if you're successful, you get all that stuff back. So it's basically a Metroidvania where you're kind of going through these interconnected caves and stuff. There's a cartographer guy who you can find in each area that will give you a map of the area. So before that, you're just kind of going around blind, and you then ultimately pick up a compass as well that tells you like where you are, like on the map. And it kind of takes you, I think that's what kind of makes it a bit hard to get into and a bit sort of daunting, is that it takes you a little bit to find those two things. So to start with, you're just dying and going right back to the same spot, like right back to the very start, and having to go and fight your way through the same shit. You don't know where you are. You don't really know what you're meant to be doing. But then, yeah, once it kind of starts to click, and once you kind of start to be able to, once you get those abilities to work out actually where you are on the map and actually see it kind of expanding, it kind of has that real, what I think was the best thing of Breath in the Wild, which was finding the towers and climbing up them and seeing the map kind of fill out. So that thing of just kind of poking around and not knowing where you are and looking on the map and going, I've fucking gone everywhere. I don't know where else I can go. This bit's blocked up to me because I don't have this ability yet that must mean that you can get up there. I don't know where the fuck I'm meant to go. I'm just at a dead end. And then all of a sudden you just find this little path that you thought you'd been down but you haven't been down, and you're in this whole new area, and you realize, oh, I'm in this whole new bit that is just open to me, and I can get in here and I don't know what's coming. And then you save your game on these little benches. So you're just like, I need to get a bench, or I need to find the map guy to open this up to me. And yeah, it's great. Like, the presentation of it is awesome. The style of it is great. There's this whole kind of like little lore to this sort of underground world that you kind of gradually discover through like reading little signs along the way and stuff like that. It just has such a great presentation. Like, it's very simple kind of visual style, kind of illustrated, very simple character designs. But each new area has different enemies that kind of gradually sort of, become a bit more complex as you go along, and they're kind of thrilling. It's like, oh fuck, what's this thing? And then it's like, oh okay, it attacked me in that way. And yeah, it's challenging. Like I'll go from like fucking loving it and like uncovering all this new stuff and making a lot of progress and racking up a lot of money and feeling like I'm uncovering all this new stuff, and then I'll get killed and I'll realize that the last time I sat on a bench was fucking ages ago, and I'm all the way back over the other end of the map, and I've got to trek all the way back through where I went to get all my money back and everything.
If you go there and you die to your corpse, do you lose everything
If
completely?
you die again on the way back to it, it's done.
Yeah, right.
So it resets, and which has happened to me a couple of times where I've been on my way back and gotten distracted and started playing a bit fast and loose and gone, oh fuck, I was on my way to find my corpse and I had like $800 and now I've got to. So it gets frustrating in those ways, but that's part of it. Like,
that's the exact same thing as Dark Souls, and it's cool when you sort of just accept it. Because it's like this weird freeing thing of not giving a shit about the numbers that you've gotten, about your stats and about all your weapons and shit, and just like you kind of focus on the game a little more.
Totally. Well, for me, like last night I was in this bit where I'm trying to save up the money to get, there's like a shop up on the surface where you can get a torch. And so I'm in a bit where I keep coming up to these bits that are just in darkness. So it's like, okay, I need the torch to go further. So I was like going around just like, all right, I'll poke around and kill some like kind of mid bosses and stuff to get the money to go and do that. And I had it and then I died and then I died on the way to get it. And I'm like, fuck, it's all gone and I've got to start again. Like, but I mean, that's part of it. There is like, you do find banks where you can store your money, but like I just have not bothered. I'm just like, don't trust the banks, man. Keep it on your mattress.
Dude, that's not weird at all.
There's a fast travel system in there where you find these little train tunnels because it's kind of this abandoned underground city, basically. Right. So you find these, the fast travel system is these like train tunnels where there's like this fucking giant beetle that like you ring a bell and he kind of like comes running up to you and it's like you hop on him and then you choose where to go.
How's it going? You're right. I'm huge.
Yeah, that's I wish. Oh,
hey, here comes the sun.
Is he bigger than Jesus? That beetle.
Oh, I think your accent's not quite as good as mine.
No, I'm doing John. You're doing Ringo.
I don't know which one I'm doing.
Took me a couple of beats to figure out.
And I'm Paul McCartney.
Because it wasn't fucking anywhere near close to a beetle.
Yeah. I was like, okay, Adam's just chiming in to just pretend to be this thing. Just doesn't seem worth it.
You're right. Fucking imagine if there was no fucking heaven.
You find an oasis in there.
Where do you go? Where do you go after that? It's fucking ridiculous.
But yeah, I really am. Really loving it. Really loving that feeling of it's that Breath of the Wild thing of opening a map up is like so satisfying. So you get into a new area and you have no way of tracking where you are because you have to find the cartographer kind of dude to get the map of the area, and he could be fucking anywhere. And so the like walking around and you know you're getting near him because you kind of hear him every time. Every time you find him, he's just at a desk kind of writing away.
Right.
And he's humming to himself. So you'll kind of hear him from a while off. You'll hear him going, So you kind of hear him down a hallway and it's like, fuck, the great man, he's nearby.
Right.
So that walking into a room and being able to start hearing him is like really exciting because you're like, fuck, I'll get this and then I'll be able to actually work out where in this area I've been and which rooms have branches coming off them that I haven't been through yet.
Yeah, so it doesn't fill in your map as you go through or anything. You've got to find this guy to get any of it.
You have to find this guy to have any of it charted.
Right.
So it'll show you when
like
you
Zelda,
get the map.
kind of. That's in like the old Zelda dungeons where you just wouldn't see any of it.
Yeah,
I think until you got the map.
When you get the map off him, it'll show you. It'll come up and it'll show you bits where you've already been to before you've gotten to him.
Cool.
But then you'll be able to see, like, say it's like a square room that there's like 4 little kind of dips, like kind of little gaps off the side of it. So it's like, okay, well, those are corridors that I haven't been down yet.
Right.
So to fill them in, you have to go. So it doesn't give you everything, but then it updates again when you go back onto a bench. And that great thing of you unlock a new ability. So you get a dash. Like I just got like a wall jump the other night where, you then you gain this ability and then you kind of think back to all the bits where you've come up against a dead end and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, that's right. There was that room where I couldn't go and but then you've got to remember like how to get back there and everything.
Can you make little notes on the map or anything like that? Or
you can buy a thing that lets you like put pins on it.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
It sounds like Super Metroid mixed with Dark Souls, basically.
Totally. Yeah. And then with the Breath of the Wild fucking exploration feeling, this sounds like I should have played this game by now.
The aesthetic of it and the lore of this kind of like weird underground world and the little characters like that you meet and the way they're all written and their little vocal samples that they have. It's just so I like in my head I'd kind of written it off too because of the fact that it's called Hollow Knight. Like I even once I'd learnt that it wasn't just a Shovel Knight affiliated thing, I was just kind of like, oh yeah. Because it sort of looks like it's just a pretty standard platformer from just looking at videos of it. But
I never really liked the look of it.
Right.
From just having seen,
the absolute bare minimum,
bits and pieces of it. And I kind of knew what it was and knew that it was the sort of thing that I might like, but the way it looked and the color palette especially.
See, that was it for me as well. And when I first started it, I was like, oh, it's all just dark blue and a bit drab. But what ends up becoming really, really great about it is when you go into these areas, they're only using slight little bits more of color or detail, but they are conveying like this is a completely different area of this world. So you go into a bit that's called Green Path, which is like a lot of grass and a lot of kind of overgrown shrubs, and then you go into a bit that's got like a lot of mushrooms all over it, and it's still got that pretty drab.
Dude, that sounds like my kind of scene, bruh.
Yeah. Get
it's a
the
share
zombie
house.
van.
Take your shoes off, everybody. What have we still got them on for?
But no, I agree. Like at the first bit of it when I started playing, I was like, and in pictures and stuff. But when you're actually walking around it and in practice and seeing more and more and more of it, it actually kind of does work as a whole. The style kind of wins you over more as you play it. Because I from the outset, I wasn't that sold on it until I started playing it.
Cool.
But yeah, really recommend it. So yeah, it's on. I think it's only on Switch and PC. I don't think it's out on anything else.
I think it's on PS4.
Did it come out on everything else? Maybe. Yeah. I think I looked it up and I found it.
I think it might just be Steam.
I remember being surprised by
Nintendo Switch, Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, and Linux.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, Steam and probably other forms of getting it on those computer platforms and Switch.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it's selling really well on Switch too, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah. And because like I said, I mean, even though it's been out on the PC for so long, I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear any talk. I mean, that's since we've been doing this. I didn't hear any talk about it until it being out on the Switch, and seeing a bunch of reviews and seeing a bunch of tweets and stuff about it. And
I knew people had liked it, but I don't know. I don't know whatever. Like, I think it was literally just the visual style didn't click with me, so I never really bothered.
Yeah, I think it's something I think it's something that both of you would enjoy.
Well, so that's what I was going to say is that I don't think I like Metroidvania games.
Right.
To me, the more you talked about it, the more it sounded like the one that I've dug a little bit recently, which is Yoku's Island Express.
Yep.
Which is a Metroidvania game where the movement is like a pinball game.
Yep.
So it's like all of the fun of exploring and none of the drudgery of just like walking around and getting killed over and over again.
Right.
Like, I don't think you can even die in Yoku's Island Express.
You can't. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's just, I didn't like Super Metroid really when we did it for one of our Patreon episodes. I was like, oh yeah, I see why this is influential, but I didn't enjoy playing it. And the thought of this doesn't, I'd rather play a third-person action game that has the same feelings of exploration and adventure. Right. But the style, the
platforming combat in this is really good. Like, you can do, like, you got a little kind of scythe thing, and you can do sort of similar to Scrooge McDuck style. You can kind of like jump and like, do it down on like bounce off people's heads with it. So you come up against these bosses that are pretty intricate with their kind of patterns, and they're dodging you and the ways they come at you, but they're pretty fast, and you really have to really memorize all their tells and really get them down. And when you do get them down and you're striking them properly and having to, jump out of the way, which gives me time to like kind of, bounce off their head and get a couple of hits in there. When you get all that going, it's incredibly satisfying. Like for kind of for a platform slashing kind of combat mechanic, it works really, really well. It's really satisfying. But yeah, of course, if you're not into Metro, it's like super Metroidvania-y. So if you're not into that kind of thing, then it's not gonna be for you.
Right.
I found myself liking them more and more in the last couple of years.
Yeah, right. It's like $15 as well, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. It's a good ass time, and by all accounts, it's huge. Like,
right, okay.
I think I'm barely scratching the surface of it, but all the reviews I read of it were like, it's fucking massive.
Right.
Like, there's so much stuff to uncover. There's so many little towns and stuff. The map's really, really big. But yeah, really recommend it.
Hollow Knight sounds more bloody like Solid Knight to me. They should have called it that. Shovel Knight. It is weird that there's two very similar at a distance games.
I really don't know why this team, even though, I don't know why this team didn't just go, like, sure, there's games that have the same words in them or whatever, but it's an indie platformer.
Call it just Hollow is better.
Sure, yeah. Hollow Man.
The Hollow.
The Hollow.
The
Hollow.
Like, people falling down on a name is... I saw a trailer. I went and saw Jurassic World the other night.
Fallen Kingdom.
Jurassic World 1.
Wow.
No,
retro screening.
Jurassic World 2, and there was a trailer beforehand for a Jason Statham movie that's about them finding this massive ancient shark under the ocean again.
Oh, yes.
Called the Megalodon.
Yeah.
It's a Megalodon, that type of shark. The movie is called The Meg. Terrible fucking name.
That's bad.
What about called the Megalodonus?
Way better.
Oh my God, I'm a big shark, mate.
It's a very dumb name. Jason Statham used to be an Olympic diver.
Really?
Yeah. He
Wow.
didn't do very well in the Olympics. I watched it earlier today because my friend is very...
Do you mean he was a soccer player?
He was bloody Neymar.
Yeah.
Hey, fucking got you.
Oh, mate. Fucking get back in the cave, boys.
Oh, we've done it. We've referenced the Cave Boys.
Yep. Well, we better wrap it up.
Mate, when you were playing Hollow Knight, did you see them bloody boys? Fuck! Did you see them bloody...
And also now Ringo's here.
That's it for another week of Filthy Casuals. If you're in Melbourne, come down and see us this Saturday, 4 p.m. at the European Beer Cafe. There'll be tickets on the door, but if you want to book, filthycasuals.com.au, which is where you can also find our Patreon and links to our socials and all that sort of stuff.
Our Bandcamp episodes.
The premium
New one of them
epis.
happening quite soon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's just say, if you want to get it, you'd better be quick.
Okay. Interesting.
The Nestle Quick video game that came out in the 90s we'll be covering.
Yes. And,
Right.
and the Milo one as well.
Not on my watch.
Okay.
That guy is an alt-right dickhead.
Guys, thanks very much for joining us. And as we say here at the end of every episode of Filthy Casuals,
The fucking ice climbers, but they're the twins in the hallway. It's the ice climbers instead.
Shining.
Another shining one.
nice.
For my friends here at Filthy Casuals. 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 Filthy Casuals.